Welcome. I'm really glad to be practicing together again. It's Friday, April 3rd, 2020. Let's go ahead and just start. We're going to just start right away. You can find a seated pose. And let's just take a few letting go breaths. You might even close your eyes. Deep inhale, just letting the exhale fall out. So we can sense this transition time into our formal practice period. And as you're taking just these few breaths here, start to notice some of the details of what's going on today inside. How you're feeling. How naturally you really just start to give yourself this attention, attuning to your own breath flow, the energy movement in the body, and a real spontaneous, natural softening, in a way relaxing into the present, how the body feels, what's going on in all of the constructs of the mind. And then tuning deep into the body, maybe emotionally, how you're doing today. Maybe placing your hand on your belly, even a hand on the heart. Wave of breath. So as we practice mindful yoga, we're doing this formal practice of turning the awareness really inward and into the present experience. I've noticed, like, just in my body, like in my belly lately, there's been this tension, tightness, almost to the point where I'll feel moments of an upset stomach. And I'm so appreciative then of this practice because it really integrates. It's like a way of telling myself, like, honey, you're worrying, So when we worry, this is when our whole attention starts to move externally and way into the future. And we start to just make up stories. It's like a hemorrhaging of our own attention and energy. But we can really get caught up in it. So we'll just have this authentic experience of coming right into the present. And let's do this again and again and again. Taking a moment now of just stillness. The real texture of each breath. Feeling the in-breath. Feeling the out-breath. Now go ahead and reach your arms way out to the side. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, the arms come down. Inhaling, the arms come up. And doing this now in a smooth way, smooth waves of breath. So we're very clear about what we can choose to do. I can choose to breathe and move in this smooth way. Soften your face and really feel that sense of that softness around your eyes. And the softness in your throat. Dropping now just one arm and reach up to the other arm. Breathe into that side of the body, stretching, opening the side. Checking your eyes. Eyes are soft, throat is soft. And then switch. And then letting go. Now as you release, we're going to let go of seated pose and you'll move right back. Let's go back just onto your elbows and start to wake up through the legs. So as you drop back here, just start to do a little bicycle movement with your legs. Breathe through your nose. So I'm going to give you an invitation now because this is, we're doing this virtually, that you have a lot of options to do something else, to stop, to walk out of class, basically, how you wouldn't do if we were really in the same room together. Push into your elbows, come back up, take Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet are together. Just reach out to the knees. Now really lift up through the sides of the body here without pushing your shoulders up. So where would your hands go? So you can keep your shoulders down. So this could be a really big part of this practice then, of staying completely here. It might help to close your eyes and take a breath. And then as you release here, the knees come up, you go all the way down and just reach your arms and legs up into the air. Move your feet around, move your hands around. Just circle, circling around. Big full breath through your nose to your belly. Now go ahead and just draw the right knee into the chest, lower the left leg. Flatten your shoulder blades. Now you're going to straighten the right leg. Start to straighten it and just open it out to the right. You can hold it a little bit. Just explore. Like, I'm reaching my right leg way out to the side. Bring the right leg up. And then just switch. Bring the left knee into the chest. Right leg extends against the floor. Breathe to your belly here. Close your eyes. So it's this wave of breath drawing you into the present, past any of the thinking, and directly to the body. Taking this time to be with my body. Now as the left leg starts to straighten out, and then reaching that left leg just out to the side, really strong. Opening in a way in that left hip. And then letting go of that, bring both knees in towards the chest. But you're going to lift your head a little bit, open your knees, or just grab your ankles. This is a little variation of Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet are together, really reach the knees out. And then bringing the head back down here. Start to let this go. Straighten the legs, take both legs out to the side, holding the legs. Now, spine is lengthening here. Lots of space in the chest. Now, as you let go of this, just start to bicycle the motion with the legs in any way, just doing this even kind of fast. Arms go out to the side now. And then we'll do this kind of scissors motion where we take the right leg up and the left leg along the floor. Just reach to the legs. And then switch. Bring left leg up, right leg down. Right leg up, left leg down. Do this back and forth. However you want, and really sense the strength through the whole body as you do this. Good. And then as you pause, bend both knees, feet on the mat, reach your arms straight up. So fingers point towards the ceiling. Now start to reach your arms up and over your head, aiming your thumbs towards the floor. Reaching. And then the arms come up. And then do this repeatedly. Please keep your arms straight as you reach the arms overhead. The arms come back up. And just explore this lifting, lowering. Do this in a symmetrical way, working the arms evenly. Good. And then just let the knees bend a little bit. Take hands behind your head. Let's do our twisted sit-up. You bring your elbows pointing towards your knees as you lift your head. Chin is down, and then extend your right leg. Reach your right elbow across towards your left knee. And then you just let this go. Head goes down. Left leg extends. Lift the head. Reach that left elbow across to your right knee. And then just letting this go. Extend the right leg. Lift your head. Reach the right elbow across. Now do this back and forth. Your own way. Breathe. Feel the whole body doing this. Breathe through your nose, steady. And then as you let this go, pause, take the arms down alongside you. Feet touch the floor. Let's get into lower back and lower front. Just contract right around your navel. Pull the navel down. And as you do this, you might notice a little scooping of the tailbone. The tailbone actually lifts up a little bit. And then gradually do the opposite. Actually lift the navel up, arching the lower back. The lumbar curve. Now exhale, pull the navel back down, really contract, and then you inhale, lifting and contract your lower back muscles. Exhaling down, inhaling, even a little lift of the chest here. So a lightness around the breastbone is good to maintain as you do this. So good for the lower belly, the pelvic area, for your whole viscera. Just this little churning action back and forth. This on a physical way, it just helps to move tension through the body. You can feel the sacrum pressing down and the very base of the spine, sacrum lifting up here. Good. Lift the feet a little bit, roll to one side and come up, come back to all fours. So let's take the knees together and just do a very basic leg lift here while the arms are working and staying straight. So you're going to take the left knee, just lift it right knee, lift it directly out to the side and then just drop it down. And then the other knee lifts up, lowers, lifting, lowering, back and forth, back and forth. And then as you get into this back and forth, just close your eyes, feel your breath moving through your nose. So as we grow this connection inward, we really start to awaken this light-hearted quality and just the simple of not only being in the body and taking care of it, but really the richness of being in the present moment is what is being revealed here. I'm right here and now. Now, as you pause here, let's take the right arm, reach it forward and a little over towards the left, and then reach your hips back, 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 dropping your left forearm. Exploring the sense through your spine, even dropping your head. The big breaths here. So you don't want to feel as if you're pulling your arm out of its socket. So the shoulder does stay back, away, a little bit away from the ear. Moving this really into the side of the body, the torso. Waves of breath. Switching as you come up, that right hand goes back, that left hand reaching a little bit to the right, not a lot. And then hips going way back. Right elbow dropping, but really be aware of your neck. You're not crunching up through your neck. So it might be a real organic, gentle movement into this. So you can tell there's a tenderness as you're breathing and feeling your way into this. Now, as you come up, that both hands right under your shoulders. Now take the knees close together. Let's just do that big action where you reach your right leg way back through your spine to your brain. Now here, bend the right knee. We're going to lift it out to the side, pull it towards the shoulder, and then down. And then that left leg goes back, spread your toes. And then as you bend that left knee, it opens, pulls towards your left shoulder and then down. And just do this back and forth. Get a sense of first the length of the body and then you're opening out to the side and down. Really sensitive to how this feels in your hip, maybe through your spine. And a real fluid breath here. Because this is a really, kind of demanding, strong action. And it's easy to hold your breath. You close your eyes, breathing and moving. So this is where we might invite in the smile. Maybe it's just a smile around your heart. I'm right here. Now, next time that your right leg goes back, you're going to reach the right leg back, circle your foot around a few times, and then reach through your heel. So you're flexing that foot. Now let's take the left foot a little bit out to the left, and we're going to open to your right side. Really push into the floor like you're pushing away and opening strong around the abdominals, like you're actually getting that toning around the navel, open the chest, and even take that top arm, reach it a lot, like alongside the head, pull back through that back heel, briefly look down a little bit. And then the right hand comes down and the knee comes down. So left leg is going to reach back. Circle your left foot around. And then flexing that foot, reaching through your heel. The right foot shifts out to the right. So there's a lot of weight on the right leg as you open to your left. Explore this. The length, the reaching up. The strength here as you reach that left arm just alongside the head, palm is facing down. Looking down. And then the left hand comes down. You take the left knee down, take this into a cat and cow action. Roll through the spine. Close your eyes so you can tune in. What does it feel like to really pull the navel up? And as you go into your cow, untuck your tailbone completely. Tucking under, really scoop the tailbone under. Breathe through your nose. Very intentionally, as we practice mindfully, bring your awareness to different areas, maybe areas that you typically don't bring awareness to. Like what's happening in your shins or your ankles. You're pressing down. Feel the lifting up the energy through your arms. Then, as you're staying a little bit in your cow pose, toes tuck under, lifting the hips way up, and then step the feet back a little bit, move to a down dog pose. Little steps forward as you come to standing. All the way up. So let's take the feet parallel and just reach the arms out to the side. Take the hands behind you and interlace your fingers. And as you're doing this, you're sensing that widening across the chest. Wide. All of this space around your throat, widening across your collarbones. The up and down around the throat, the windpipe, and then across the chest. Now this sense is really in the front of the body, like right at that throat pit area. But as you release your fingers and reach your arms out, see if you could sense now the back of your neck. In fact, let's take the hands right at the back of the neck and feeling the vertebra in your neck and move your fingers all the way up. Like you could feel that topmost vertebra. That area is the occiput, right at the very base of the skull. And then as the fingers go down, and then feeling like across your upper back, reach the arms back out. And so that space, lots of space, up and down and across. Imagine that length of the back of the neck, right at the occiput area, lifting up. Moving to a little squat here, sitting down, arms forward. And now bring the arms higher up as you sit even a little lower. Coming up, arms go out to the side, and then move your weight over to your right leg and balance in your tree pose. So it's important then, we're practicing mindfully, which means you are now in the present and investigating what feels right. As you are also waking up. The whole body really has to awaken to do this. Otherwise, there'll be areas that are, whoa, like that weak link that suddenly takes you off balance. So it's this real beautiful orchestration as we wake up the whole body. And I really appreciate how tree pose, in a way, it kind of forces you right into the present. When you're practicing at home, this may be an opportunity. You could easily go over to the wall and use wall or something right next to you for a little touch point. If you're feeling really tippy. Now take the arms out to the side and move right to a warrior three. You're going to stay balancing on that right leg. So the left leg is going to reach back. As you're balancing, you're letting yourself lengthen forward, keeping that standing leg straight. And then coming up to standing. Shift the weight. The arms go to the side, shifting weight to the other leg. Possibly you might start kind of small, foot on the inner calf, or keep your toes down. Feel the sole of the foot. Yeah, notice if you're leaning or tilting a little forward. So there's that sense like that standing leg is right underneath you. So this felt sense inside, spine, light-hearted quality. It's always an experiment. Like, well, what would this feel like today? But we're not attached at all to the results. What happens when you really hug like everything into the center? Now you can always take your arms wherever feels appropriate. I'm just taking arms out to the side now as you go to warrior three. You're going to reach that bent leg, you're going to reach it back. Warrior three. Just letting this tilt forward. Come on up. Foot comes down, and then move yourself towards the back of your mat. Take a few sun breaths here. Arms come up, inhale. And then as you exhale, do a little bent knee here as you fold over. Just a little bit bent, folding. Drop your head. And then maybe intentionally straighten your legs so you know, now I'm straightening my legs. Really working. And then push into the feet and come up. Do this now according to your body. This folding over, coming up. Sensing your joints, muscles. And let's say next time you're over, you fold over, you walk your hands forward to downward facing dog. It plenty of distance apart. Briefly lift your heels way up, stretching, even spreading your toes. Reach the hips back. Slowly lift your navel as you go towards a plank pose, but really strong back. Lightly touch your left knee down. And then reach the right leg back and open to that same pose we did earlier. You can adjust however you want to so that bottom hand is right under your shoulder. Reach that top arm more alongside the head. Lengthening. Back leg, that right leg reaching back. And coming down, the hand down, the knee down. Down dog. Right knee lightly touching down. Now you're going to open the right foot a little bit to the right as you reach that left leg back and open to your left. So make sure this isn't really in any kind of like a banana shape. It's very neutral and lengthening. The top arm reaching alongside the head. Keeping the neck long. And then letting go. Hand comes down. Left knee down, back to your down dog. And then just do a couple back and forth. Your plank, your down dog. Breathe, move. Lightly touch the knees down. So you're in a knee down plank. Your tailbone drawing in. Lift your feet slightly. And very slowly lower down. Now, once you lower down, reach your legs way, way, way back. And let's take the hands forward. So your hands are under your forehead. Lengthen and lift just your right leg. Now, as you're doing that, you're really engaging your glutes. Your right glutes are working. And then lower the right leg. And then lengthen and lift the left leg. And then left leg down. Now, as you do this back and forth, and you might just close your eyes, breathe as you're doing this, notice the work of your glutes working and letting go. The glutes working, letting go. So it's really important. Sense that the firing of the glutes here. Good. And then as you let this go, we'll lift the head. You just slide your hands way back. So we've been working on that reverse, kind of a reverse push-up here. Now you could keep your knees down, lifting up, and then back to your down dog. Waves of breath. Now as you're feeling your down dog here, sense the whole front of your spine. And this is kind of imagining, feeling deep in the body, that front of your spine lengthening. And then the back of your spine lengthening. So this wakes up the awareness of your whole front line of your body, the whole back line of the body, both lengthening. As we're continuing, I might pause here. I noticed that some comments come up in the chat, so people can communicate with me um, if you need to. Now come to standing, just walk forward. Come all the way up. Arms come down. So we're going to move towards the back of the mat again and do another little series of balancing poses here. And this one is really going to be kind of a fluid playing with this. This is the movement from Warrior 3 pose to that balancing number 4 pose. So we'll start, you might just bring arms out to the side. Take your right foot, step it forward a little bit. There's your standing leg. So you're gonna ground. It can be good to keep that knee a little bent. Like as you start to reach the left leg back, and then just grow into this. Like gradually, it's really important that we feel stable. Like as you start to move into this, this deeper, wide expression of this. Now, as you start to come up, you're going to bend the right knee and cross that left over the right. So we're crossing, that left shin bone is on the right thigh bone. And you start to sit down here, even take hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Now we don't want to get really back bendy here. So navel is in. As you're sitting, you might even hinge forward a little bit. And come up. Just push into the feet, reach the arms just straight up. Arms out to the side. So left foot steps forward. We'll step. Reach that back leg back. Right leg. Really establish the strength, stability here. Space around the heart. Coming up. Crossing that right over the left. Sides of the body stay really lengthened here, rather than kind of collapsing down. Taking the hands behind to stay wide across the chest, but navel in. There's a lot of really tuning in, listening to your hips. Coming up, push down, come up. Arms come down. Yes, we're going to do this one more time on each side. Right foot steps forward. So feeling into this, build wisely. Grounding. So if you have that little wall nearby, like, I might just lightly use this. As you really wake up, your whole body. Standing leg, pull up through that right leg. And then as you start to come up here, you're going to bend that left knee and cross. The sides of the body lifting, not taking the hips and rotating at all. Squaring. Arms behind, navel in. Coming up. Warrior 3, left side. Growing. Sense of being stable. That's when we move into the calm of this. Now, as you come up, crossing right over left. Breathing and feeling. To moving awareness to that inner landscape. Good. Now, as you come up, pushing down through the feet, release the fingers, and just take arms down alongside you. Feet have a little space apart. Let's move into that, just that easy little twist here. Now, you are staying really tall and lifted. So, in a way, the rib cage is lifting up away from your pelvis, and that brings space through your lower back, the whole belly, or sense space inside of the chest here. This is a good one for building that tenderness of how aggressive you do this, that how much you're really swinging your arms. You might start to look back behind you. Now, as you release, as you let go of this, you might rotate so that you can step your feet wide on your mat. So opening to the side, taking feet wide. And then point the feet out to the side a little bit. Start to bend your knees. And then straighten. And then just explore this arrangement in the body. Making sure that your feet, like the soles of the feet, are really awake here. Even lift your toes a little bit. So when you bend your knees, you're not drooping into the arches of the feet. They're actually really lifting up here. That sensitivity through the feet and your ankles are really strong. Arms come out. Please make sure that you're not just trying to mimic me in some way. That's called mimicking. So rather, you're doing yoga and exploring this shape in your own body, bringing a lot of awareness inward. Bend your elbows. Pause with the knees bent. And you let go of this. You straighten the legs. You take the toes forward, even to the point where you're pointing your toes in a little bit. Now firm and strengthen the legs so you can feel your quads pulling up here as you forward bend. Like, my legs are strong. And kind of a flat back as I go over. You could take your hands down the backs of the legs. All the way over. Drop your head. Bend your knees a little bit, both of them. And as you're bending your knees, do a little lift of your toes, just to make sure you're not bending your knees and kind of crushing your feet. So you have that springiness in your feet. And then push straight down, come all the way up, reach out. So, warrior 2. You're going to open your right foot. And I know this might not appear the same. Open the right foot, your right foot. And then left toes point in. Take warrior 2, bend. Right knee, take, even explore like wider, 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 wider apart. And then straighten. And then, bend, straighten, bending, straightening, and feel this action in your knee, the knee joint. It's bending straight. It's not dropping in, drooping in at all. Next time you bend your knee, just pause. Look to the right. Breathe through your nose. Smiling around the heart. Now briefly take hands down here, right to your hip creases. And then just start to straighten that right leg. Moving to the smallest little triangle. You're just, extending out to the side. Right hand could drift down a little bit. And then bend the right knee, reach the arms out. Reverse warrior 2, drop that left arm. Really reach up. Open the right side of the body here. Still aiming that right knee directly to the right. Good, releasing. So let's take the feet forward and just step to the center a moment. Do a marching action. Just, very balanced on your feet. Like there is a little bit of like pulling in together as you're doing this. And then stepping apart. Wide, that left foot opening to the left. Little bend, wide apart. Straighten, bend. So you might even tell like that the energy I'm putting into my straight leg. It's not accidental that it stays straight. I'm working that action. Extend the arms. And then bend left knee, pause. Look to your left. Really moving into almost the fascination of as many times as you have done this pose, just how it feels right now. Could you soften your eyes, your throat? And then the arms come down. Now, as you start to straighten that left leg, pull up through the legs. And as you pull up through the legs, almost like you're pulling your legs into their sockets. It's like that energy draws up through your spine. Left hand can just move so lightly down the leg. Feel your spine. As you bend the left knee and you come up, you reach your arms, and the right arm drops down. The left arm lifts up. Reverse warrior two. Lift your toes a little bit to feel your feet. Move right into the breath here. Let the breath take you, oh yeah, the present moment. We're so reminded that we are beginners. I'm constantly reminded of this. Releasing. Good. Now let's take that back right leg, step up towards the front of the mat, arms come up, forward bend, moving back to your down dog. Now right leg is going to reach back, way back. We're going to do this real dynamic movement here where you inhale right here. And then as you exhale, you pull your knee into your chest. You squeeze. And then you inhale, the leg goes back. And you exhale, just pull in. Move back and forth. A good variation of this is to do this on hands and knees. Same action, back and forth. And then as that right foot comes down, you're going to touch your knees down and move to child pose. As you come up, we'll do the left side. Either variation, down dog or all fours. Left leg reaching back. Big inhale, and then that exhale, you pull the knee in. And you just inhale back. That's squeezing in. Stay with this, whatever pace. And then that knee as it comes down, your child pose. As you come up, please take your legs in front of you. So moving to our twist here where you're leaning back a bit into your hands, your feet go wide apart, and you drop knees back and forth. So you can sense and feel lots of space in your belly. We need to get a feeling of the whole front of the body is very open here when you're twisting. You don't want to feel like you're collapsing down here at all. So feeling that front of the body, even the chest, really lifted up here. And then we'll just go to one side and just say drop knees to your right side. So the top hip is your left hip. You're going to lift that up. And as it lifts, it's going to start this twisting action. Follow that. So when you're twisting, you start to rotate back, little at a time. Now, as you're doing this, close your eyes and be very attentive because you could really push yourself into this. But please don't. Breathe and give the body time to very naturally soften into this. So it's the softness that we're exploring. The release of tension we're exploring. So breathe to your belly. Breathe right around your belly button. Wave of breath around your belly button. When you exhale, pull your navel in. When you inhale, release the navel out. Untwist. As you come back towards the front, take the knees just a little back and forth. And then knees to your left, so the top right hip. It doesn't stay dropping down here. That's where it all starts. We lift the hip up. Maybe reposition like feet, legs, lengthen through the spine, lift the ribs. And so there's that little twisting. So as soon as you feel the body just stops, you stop. Completely still. You breathe and you wait very patiently. And like the body kind of takes over of if it's ready to move deeper into the twist. But what you're then doing is bringing awareness to your navel and feeling around the navel, the breath. That navel area keeps you connected to the whole lower back. That where the whole spiral starts in the twist. You could sense and imagine the twist spiraling all the way up through the spine. Untwist. Again, knees drop a little bit back and forth. Good. So as we let go, as we drop onto the back, as we lower down, again, I'm just going to put out the invitation to stay here. staying connected and taking this time for stillness as we move towards Shavasana. So as you recline, we'll do our Shavasana Prep, where you lay back, bend your knees at first, feet on the floor, arms down alongside you, even tuck your shoulder blades under, flattening them. And as you ground your feet, lift your butt a little bit away from the floor, just slightly. Make sure breastbone is light. And then draw the tailbone in. Just lift the hips, lifting up, but the throat staying really soft. Lower down. This is a good one for closing the eyes. And really feel the spine as you lift up and then you lower down. Breathe and move. You can do this in any way. You could lift partially, just the slightest bit, like lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. Again, letting the body really decide on how to move. Do this symmetrically. Can you sense that you're lifting the right and left side? Even, lowering, even. Listen to your breath in the nose. Breathe, drink in the breath here, so throat is soft. Good. Next time you lower down, pause, and then reach up and actually grab your knees. So you hold on to your kneecaps. Keep the knees together, but just circle the knees a little bit so that final kind of roll on your lower back. Let this do a little bit of pressure massage on your lower back. And as you let that go, drop the feet down. Arms just drop down. And even in a fresh way, just a fresh approach as you move to Shavasana. Like, oh, what does your body feel like? What does it feel like to go into Shavasana, to find that position where the body can completely release and drop down? You might, with your head, you might take this slightest height under your head, or even just let your head just kind of roll back and forth, like right and left, and just feel it. Oh, I'm dropping my head. But there is, what's nice about laying on the floor is you can kind of keep your shoulders down away from your ears and just feel length of your neck and your throat. And then pause, start to move into stillness. The legs might straighten. You could just drop your arms down, or you might keep hands on your belly, or take your hands like on your hip creases. This is a real beautiful practice of knowingly awareness streaming inward, inward, inward. Bring awareness to your forehead. Feel that fullness now. All of your attention is at your forehead. Almost a melting feeling around the space between your eyebrows. And as that area softens, bring awareness to the inner corners of your eyes. Letting the inner corners of your eyes soften and descend. Eyes calm. This might calm or have an effect on the activity in the mind. Be aware of your throat. Knowing I'm aware of my throat. Practicing being free of tension. Sense the space around your chest, your belly. Just energy can move. Might bring awareness to your whole body and sensing energy is free and moving through the whole body. Allow this. Space inside the body. And then practicing maybe in a way of being receptive and receiving. I'm going to share a poem with you. This is a poem by Mary Oliver. The title is The Ponds. Every year, the lilies are so perfect, I can hardly believe their lapped light crowding the black midsummer ponds. Nobody could count all of them. The muskrats are swimming among the pads, and the grasses can reach out their muscular arms and touch only so many. They are that rife and wild. But what in this world is perfect? I bend closer and see how this one is clearly lopsided, and that one wears an orange blight, and this one is a glossy cheek, half nibbled away, and that one is a slumped purse full of its own unstoppable decay. Still, what I want in my life is to be willing to be dazzled, to cast aside the weight of facts, and maybe even to float a little above this difficult world. I want to believe I am looking into the white fire of a great mystery. I want to believe that the imperfections are nothing, that the light is everything, that it is more than the sum of each flawed blossom rising and fading. And I do. So sensing the brightness of your awareness, its completeness, seeing this light inside of you. This possibility of in this time to be helping just simply in the simplest ways, even the most mundane ways that we can help, that we can decrease our own suffering. So now, as you start to move out of Shavasana and you re enter the day, do this with a, movement that is just light and yet full of strength. Maybe take a big stretch here as you extend the arms or stretch through the legs and bring yourself back up to seated pose. Re enter the mystery that this has always been here, this amazing mystery of this world. May we step into it with a kind, open heart. So let's take palms together. And as we sense and feel just this vibration of this sound of Om, I'm going to invite you, whether you Om out loud or silently internally, that you sense this vibration of the Om. And may this vibration just move through us. And so we land like right in the place that suits us so that we feel at ease. We'll take palms together. We'll take a deep inhale. Sending out the wish. May we stay connected. May we take care of ourselves. And in this way, take care of the whole world. May all beings benefit from our imperfect practice. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. I'm just gonna open up, like, if you want to, I'll keep the live stream going for a minute or so. There's a little chat area off to the side if you want to leave a comment. You just want to say hi, maybe as a way of just, just sharing your presence here if you want to do that. Really just so grateful that you have taken time to, right to the end of the class here to be here. And then I'll put out the invitation that if you do want to donate and just, share your support for Common Ground or towards me, that you can go to the Common Ground website. Very easy to find. And then there is a page on there of how to donate, how to support the center. And it's pretty obvious. They've made it on there. Like, if you want to donate towards me, Nancy Boler, you would just say, I want to support Nancy Boler. And automatically 2/3 of that goes to me, and then 1/3 of that goes to Common Ground. So that's how it works. Continue to send me emails. I mean, as we move forward here, it'd be great to hear suggestions, because I could offer classes that have a totally different focus, something we can work on, and I might get into that as we keep going. Because, like, this class, you could always watch again. If you just wanted a very straightforward class that, kind of gets into all parts of the body. So, yeah. You could share poems with me or writings, that you found that you would be appropriate to share, that feel right. It's really great to just stay connected in that way. So I think I'm going to take us offline. So my next class will be on Tuesday night. Tuesday is the level 2 class. And then otherwise, we'll just see you next Friday. So I'm seeing this comment from Leah, and I considered that, Leah, to start a mindful moment in the beginning. Um, I just wanted to not get into checking the chats in the beginning. So, and this is another reason then to stay till the end, and we can just give um, a little wave at the end and share a comment. So I might do this as we move forward of um, a way to just uh, bring in your voice. Thanks, Leah. Um, yeah, I thought, hey, we do this in my classes usually. We check in the beginning, but I felt like, oh, all of a sudden all of our energy would be on the chats. So, ah, hope to see you Tuesday or next week, everyone. I'll end it here. Namaste.